Oh ja, Sie giant macho. I am the German. I'm ready to party.
Obergeil!
Ja, Obergeil, man. Wait, that's Dutch. No, but ja, the Amsterdam dance event is in the house.
Oh my god, somebody OD'd!
Somebody died.
Get her some lemonade!
No.
No! And we're back for our weekly Monday podcast.
And this is Jay.
And this is Matt.
And welcome to the Jay and Matt Show. Thank you very much for joining us. This is, again, for the first time in about a week and a half that we're back now. Unfortunately, we had some technical difficulties at the last one.
Technical difficulties. Everything fell apart, not to mention our livers. Last week we were hungover and fucked up, but the show had to go on, so we kept going on anyway. And then the technical difficulties meant that we couldn't hear Jay. It was tragic.
Unfortunately. But I mean, maybe it was a good thing because we were pretty fucked up.
I'm pretty sure we said one thing that made me laugh, maybe cry.
Yeah, but the majority of the podcast that we did last week, I'm kind of glad. Maybe it was a sign that we weren't supposed to release it. Because, again, we were talking and we're just like, before the podcast even began, we listened to some submissions of music, which we're not going to talk about that much in detail. But anyway, we got some submissions for music from artists, local artists, because, again, we're trying to get the word out there that we're just looking for people and basically just trying to get the word out. And in this case, we listened to some of the music before the podcast, and we're just sitting there with our hands on our faces and just face palming. Like, it was ridiculous. Some of the music that we listened to, good God.
There was the one guy, and whoever you are, thank you very much for sending that. This is what we talked about last week as well, but it was the guy who sent in it was a song where basically the guitar was completely out of tune, the singing was like, like 3 minutes of this, and in the background was just like mathematical equations. Yeah. And I didn't know how to, or what to make of it, but we just had to kind of move on. So
I remember you sending me that video over Facebook Messenger, and when I clicked on it, I thought, okay, maybe it's like a parallelogram kind of thing, like mathematics course.
Angles.
And he started playing the music, and it was like, it seemed like it was in a far distance. He was very far away from the microphone while playing his acoustic guitar. And I had that vivid picture of him just playing this guitar naked in the background somewhere, like in a closet, and his mom's just coming into his room like, honey, what are you doing? And he's got a spy cam in the middle of the acoustic guitar just watching everything. It sounded like he was in his bathroom. Close the door, Mom. Parallelograms going on here. What is the deal? Like, we're talking about like close the door, and what is the deal with people if you ever go into somebody's house and they don't have a fucking lock on the bathroom door? Like, how does that work? I went back to Ireland a couple of months ago, and I went to my sister's house, and in the downstairs toilet she didn't have a lock, and I was like, how the hell do you, like, what do you do? And then my nephew was like, well, if somebody comes near, then you just say occupied. Oh, what good is that going to be when you're fucking walking in with your dick out pissing all over the place? Oh Jesus, look, occupied. It's just like as you're taking a piss, somebody just opens the door and you turn to him. Hello, sir. May I hold it? Can I hold your junk? Or it's just when you have that unexpected kind of when you're taking a piss and somebody opens the door and you're just like, you turn around automatically without noise. Like, oh, I'm so sorry. Am I peeing on you? Shit, do I turn around? And the old 360. or like the 90-degree angle in which you turn. Like, oh. I'm pretty sure every guy once in their life, probably after consuming quite a few beverages, has done the 360. But speaking of, I know we're coming across this really odd topic about bathroom topics, but basically what I did is, and I'm not proud of this, but you shat in the sink. No, worse, I shat in the bathtub. What age were you? So I was 10 years old. And so I don't knew shame. Yeah, but I'm glad I wasn't an adult when I did this, because it would have been even more embarrassing. But basically what happened was I went to a friend of mine's and we hung out. We were just like, I had to take a shit, but he, like, his bathroom does he know this story yet? Yeah, he does. I think so. He had to get the plunger. But basically what happened was his toilet was being remodeled or something like that. So I really had to take a shit. I didn't know where else, like, there was another bathroom in the house. God. So I thought to myself, fuck, what do I do? So I see a bathtub there or a shower. I'm like, well, I don't want to take a shit in the shower. Take a shit in the bathtub, wipe your ass with the shower curtain. No, what I did is I turned the water on, like, let the bathtub fill up. So it's like a plug. It's just holding the water in. You get this bathtub. I was hoping that it would melt with the hot water, but
gotta-
apparently
It would melt. It's just created this like lukewarm.
I was 10 years old.
lukewarm brown water.
But basically, what had happened was, so anyway, after that, his mom comes into the bathroom after like everything was done, and then she's like, "Who the fuck took a shit in the bathtub?" And I blame my friend. So I'm like, "It was him, I swear."
This is like this thing that kids experience, like when a lot of kids get like bathed together when they're quite young. They're like, there's two of them in the bathtub and one of them takes a shit and then they get blamed for it years later. Like, you did the brown boat. Like, it wasn't me. But yeah, maybe that's just something that happened in my family. People are like, yeah, you were the one that did the brown boat.
What? You know what's weird though? Like, even though the society in which we live in today, like nowadays, if you say like, oh yeah, me and my sister bathed together when we were young, it's like, ah, you incest.
Yeah, you fucking pervert. I think.
What are they doing in Northern Ireland?
I think. Fuck. What aren't they doing? Fucking barbarians. I think that everybody like nowadays is running scared. Like nobody wants to say anything at all. Like you don't want to say anything like controversial, especially with this like Me Too thing and any kind of weird shit. You can't talk about it. It's just fucking. You got to hold it in because it's too obscure. And I'm gonna get offended.
Oh my god.
That's offensive.
Becky. Seriously. Anyway, no, but some of the things that's also going on here in Amsterdam or Amsterdam, if you're American. Amsterdam.
God damn.
Anyway, I've been called out by people saying like, "Oh yeah, I really like the way you say Amsterdam."
I noticed that about you actually, because I noticed that every time you said Amsterdam, you were like, "Yeah, I was just hanging out in Amsterdam."
In Amsterdam, jongen.
It's like like there's I'm not saying that you're annoying or something, but there's people who go on holidays and then they come back trying to be all like cultured and they're like, "Yes, we were on holidays in Paris. We were on holidays in Rome." I don't know what Rome is.
It's just like if you go to the Netherlands, it's like, "Oh yeah, man, I was at the Rijksmuseum."
Yeah, I went to Rotterdam Express.
Jongen, dat is echt goed, man. Okay, I'm gonna stop with the Dutch now. It's just no.
We're alienating everybody. Let's get back to English.
English or American or Northern Ireland.
Northern Ireland.
Irelandish.
I'm from the country of Ireland, and we speak funny.
You do speak funny. You are a dirty boy. Clean yourself.
This isn't even the sexy music.
Oh yeah, I forgot it was on, but anyway. You are a dirty boy with the sexy music on, please. Shave yourself.
Shave yourself. I finally got round to watching fucking, after all this time, I don't know how that I made this link, but for like 5 years or something, everybody was always telling me to like watch Breaking Bad, and I was like, I don't know, like I'm not really much of a series watcher, and then I finally got round to watching it, and then I just started to think about fucking this bald guy. All I've been thinking about for the last couple of days is cancer and meth.
Honestly, now that you remind me of the show, I kind of feel like just leaving my studies and go start fucking pack up a van, you and I, we go in the middle of New Mexico and just start cooking crystal meth.
Wow.
In my underwear.
New Mexico, Delta.
Okay, fine, Northern Ireland, whichever's closer, whatever.
Fucking meth. What is it? Just cough medicine and then like a bunch of like chemistry involved with that? Like I haven't.
Dude, I'm not a scientist. I'm a business student. Okay, I did not learn that part. That's why I went into business school.
How would you make this into a business package? How would you market this?
How would I market? Oh, well, yeah. What you can do in this case, you make a specialized package. You call it a really happy name like
Heroin,
Blue
baby.
Crystal,
Heroin, baby,
or Heisenberg, and that's the drug.
Blue Crystal.
Blue Crystal.
Crystal. Sipping Crystal. I don't get that shit where people are like fucking like the richer people get, the more like they're lost for material things is. So like they go out on a night out, and for me, like if I went out on a night out and I was fucking rich, I would just buy drinks for everybody. Buy the same cheap drinks for everybody. Quantity, not quality, baby.
Oh yeah.
But these people go out and then they're all like, "Oh, sipping Crystal." It's like, what the fuck? It's like 1,000 euros for a fucking glass.
Well, it's also like, speaking of that whole quantity thing in which you were just talking about, there's also what they did in Florida now is they have, like, you know how you can buy beer in 6-pack, 12-packs, 24-pack, 48-pack, and stuff like that? And in the United States, especially in Florida, in which the area in which I'm from, they introduced a new package, which is 77 cans of beer. 77 cans of beer, and this thing weighs like 26 pounds, or if you correlate that to 13 kilos, if you convert that down to it. But I looked at that, I thought to myself, and this is what I saw in the news, this isn't just like a random article. And the guy itself, he just said, "Oh, well, now you can pop open a can of brewskis with the bros.
77 cans of brewski, to be honest.
Brewskis, bruh.
Fucking, what is that? Why 77? Maybe that's like the life expectancy of the man. That's quite old, actually, for a heavy drinker. So
Yeah, I mean, it is. But we're going to get on a lot more topics. I don't know what the hell just happened there, but but we're going to get on a couple of more topics. And what I want to do is, as we always do every single week, we introduce new artists or anybody like that. One of the artists that I am about to play, it's actually, his name is More or Less. He's actually a Canadian-based hip-hop artist from Toronto, Ontario. Canada,
eh?
Canada, eh? All right, eh? Okay, I'm going to stop. Anyway, this is basically what we will play is his song. It's called Roll the Dice. And you guys just let us know what you think, because me personally, I actually like the song. But yeah, just let us know what you think.
Let us know. Anytime now. In the future.
Shut up, man. No, but here it is, basically. Apparently they're playing a game in this.
I thought that was us recorded.
I got 22 on that.
20, natural 20.
There is a dragon
Okay.
flying
Take your
above you
potions.
guys. Haven't you taken those potions? You have not taken those potions.
Everyone needs to take
Those potions only last 1 minute.
Oh shit. Am I attacking it or
Drinking any
taking
potion
the
is an action?
Potion is an action. I lose my turn.
I would actually just attack.
Yeah, I'll
knows
hit,
you're there.
I'll hit it with the scorching ray. It's the best thing I've got.
Yo, might come a day, friends say wanna play. No need to refuse what fools deem uncool. Just get a team, get advice, get your tools. That's a pen, that's a sheet, that's some dice for your moves. 4, 6, 8 sides, 12 sides, 20. Your clique may fight hell types plenty in a faraway land where creatures dwell like many in your own realm. Except they're magic and they know elves. Read an ancient book and learn to shoot fireballs. Fight satanicals with power from a higher call. Bring a knife to a dragon fight might be wrong unless you're proficient with mystic weapons and find these strong objects of power up in secret spots that you'll need to uncover to keep up with the evil plots orchestrated by a master. Your battle, control what not predetermined, learn what you earnings all in a row. Leave your preconceptions at home. Gather your friends for adventure your world's never known. Discover many realms, different zones. Roll the dice for the life you save might be your own. Leave your preconceptions at home. Gather your friends for adventure your world's never known. Discover many realms, different zones. Roll the dice for the life you save might be your own.
Roll the dice on the tabletop, aim and drop, take a shot, slay, pray to God. I survive with my saving toss. Polygons tumble when we rumble, come to play. Run away, hide and seek, just to live another day.
Since my youth flinging scorching ray, dude. Nowadays play the game the same way too. Character sheep to the tomb. Mind flayers and beholders, they facing doom. DM's a psychopath, feel the end is coming soon.
Take care for my character sheet, dare to repeat. Roll a check for perception and stare at my feet. Enhanced scars traded, armor upgraded. In and out of caverns, a pattern we are faded.
Shots of scotch rest by squares to rep 5 feet. Bag of chips by my seat, make my cipher complete. Short rest, HD back, you know it's all good. Trekking through the woods, pursued by government agents and hoods.
Leave your preconceptions at home. Gather your friends for adventure your world's never known. Discover many realms, different zones. Roll the dice for the life you save might be your own. Leave your preconceptions at home. Gather your friends for adventure your world's never known. Discover many realms, different zones. Roll the dice for the life you save might be your own.
My crew reps the forgotten realms. Wild stories that's not told up in any film. You think I won't? Well, man, I promise Ram will. A dark elf that's more chill than kill, but still down to blow you out the windowsill.
Infighting cocked with party members toxic. Alignment evil combined with chaotic. Boosted my chaos, cause all I want is chaos. Favorite songs, fear and chaos. Ready for the payoff.
Barter, spin a dice sober. The giant wildin' out, potentially fucking the party over. Pouring shots for the tiefling, spinning vinyl on the table, cracking my knuckles as the voice of the sky spins another fable.
Relatable, less than fatal, that's debatable. Deflect, resurrect from the coffin to the cradle. Attacking evidently, enemies and friendlies. Hand raised, mad kills, rolling natural 20s.
Leave your preconceptions at home. Gather your friends for adventure your world's never known. Discover many realms, different zones. Roll the dice for the life you save might be your own. Leave your preconceptions at home. Gather your friends for adventure your world's never known. Discover many realms, different zones. Roll the dice for the life you save might be your own.
And that was more or less with the song Roll the Dice off his new album called Nerd Love.
Marvelous. Bloody marvelous.
It is absolutely fantastic.
That was cool.
No, but it's one of those songs, like, I really enjoyed it. And he actually sent me the entire album over, and I thought it was kind of cool because he sent it over personally over to my email address. So
Yeah.
I thought it was fucking awesome.
So you're in the VIP section getting all the free tracks.
I am. I'm actually thinking about going to Toronto next year, and actually meet up with him. So we'll see what happens with that.
Damn it. I would love to go to Toronto.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, honestly, if you want to come as well,
Can I go in your suitcase?
you may. Or I'll just put you in like a really small bag, and you're just like one of those doggy bags, you know?
If you just wore me like a backpack.
Yeah, just like, Matthew.
When your arms get tired, then I can like pick shit up for you. Oh, you're eating. Fucking throwing coffee all over you.
No, but according to one of my friends as well, like, this is a story that I want to get into as well, that we spoke about this briefly, where I initially hinted towards this at the beginning of the show. So initially, one of my friends, Mark, he was supposed to join us today on the podcast. Unfortunately, he was not able to make it.
We were stood up.
God damn it.
It's sitting alone in a restaurant eating spaghetti.
Yeah, I actually had dinner today, or the Capsalon. What is it? And I was just sitting there alone. He's like, is anybody else coming? I'm like, no, it's just me.
Crying
I've been
as deer
stood up.
food.
Damn it. No, but yeah. So basically the story was he ended up going to he was in Hanover, like a town in Germany.
Yeah.
He was in a taxi, and like he spoke to one of the taxi drivers, and he said to him that he's been driving a lot of people to like, you know, these brothels and stuff like that that they have. Well, he said that nowadays there's these brothels with these sex robots in there.
Sex robots, like literally like stick your dick in, I will wank you off.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, it was a random ass topic we just came about when Mark and I, we were just having drinks the other day. And I just came across this whole fucking thing. I'm just like, all right, you know, we've had a couple of drinks. Let's make this a little bit more interesting. So I just thought to myself, you know, what if by some chance, like, I mean, obviously, because some people want to do this because they don't want to get embarrassed by an actual prostitute, or have like that resentment or regret.
I would be all in favor for it, because there's a lot of creepy people out there, and it's just better if they're going and fucking having sex with blenders instead of people.
Don't you dare turn that on! Oh my god!
Toaster dick, come on! Like it's the new trend. It's like you know that game, bop it, twist it, turn it, toaster dick.
Would you like your dick toasted or blended?
Sunny side up. Whatever that means.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. I guess the tip up rather than down. I don't know.
It's a new circumcision style. What kind of circumcision would you like?
like a Nike logo. Nike.
Just do it. That's the one. Or keep it original like Adidas.
Oh my god, man.
Or Puma, the Speed King, just whoosh, done, over. Hey, that was 0.5 seconds. Yeah, but I think you're bleeding out.
I think this is what we talked about last week. That the podcast that got deleted was was that the one before, like where we were talking about like the type of hairdressers, you just press a button.
Yeah,
and it gives you a haircut. You could do that with the foreskin as well.
Why would you want to do that? I don't want to go to a machine for that. Like, I barely want to go to a doctor.
To get yourself circumcised.
But anyway, going back to the story, so the taxi driver was telling my friend about this, and then Mark and I were just having this discussion, and within this particular discussion that we had, I just thought to myself, you know, what if by some chance we get so technologically advanced that these robots can get pregnant? So basically, this robot that you're having sex with, you don't have to worry about. You can just come inside of it and be like, oh yeah, you know, whatever. And then next thing you know, like 2 months later, you get a phone call. Hello, my name is blah, blah, blah. You are the father.
Like the Google Translate voice.
Yeah.
Hello.
Pretty much.
Today it is your lucky day. You have fathered a child.
And basically they say like, oh, it's a USB stick. Congratulations, it's 2 megabytes. Please pick it up at the following address. No, but it's just like, just imagine that, and then you basically have the USB drive, and then it's just like, as it grows, it turns into a fucking MacBook, and then you're just like, oh sweet, now I have a MacBook.
Man,
because like as if But here's the thing: like if you have a USB drive, you
Yeah.
basically have like that's your infant.
Yeah.
You start at 2 megabytes, and then it's just like every year, if you raise it right, then it becomes a MacBook.
Fuck's sake, man. Give me one of those fucking robot sex dolls, because I want to, like, that's one of these things, like, a lot of people walk around and I see them fucking, like, I remember starting to see it years ago in like fucking coffee houses or coffee places like fucking Starbucks.
Yeah.
People will be sitting around like just literally doing fuck all, but they have this MacBook which is like €2,000.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm struggling like trying to edit videos and stuff like that. So I'm always trying to get by on what I can, always PCs, and then these people are just like using them like they're not getting the best out of them basically. So if I could fuck a fucking robot and get a brand new Mac, it sounds like a fair deal.
And it's just like once you get that Mac, you know, in order for like to produce another MacBook, you have to hook it up with like one of those other USB ports or whatever, and then it's just like to another MacBook, and then it's just like it creates another like one of those mini iPads or whatever, or an iPhone you can choose, and then it's just like, oh, awesome! I have a family of MacBooks I no longer have to pay for.
But then, like, if you're kind of taking advantage of this MacBook, like, you're just making it do everything that you want. Because is it a robot that can have like free thought, or is it?
Well, but if you treat that fucking USB stick wrong, like if you keep constantly abusing it, it's gonna turn into a Linux.
it's gonna turn into a Windows update.
Windows 95.
Fucking Windows, man. Fucking Windows. Oh, finally, I got rid of, this is not even a Windows related thing, but like just any kind of technology just starts to get to me after a while. Like, but I was having these pop-up ads on my phone for a while after installing an app, like some kind of reshare app on Instagram or some crap like this. I was constantly getting these fucking pop-ups, and it was driving me mad. And it was just everything, like, at the same time my computer decided to do this meltdown thing where it was like, fuck, we want to re-update the whole system from scratch. And anyway.
Well, that's
technology.
also like what I have a problem with, not just with the computers, but anytime you get an update on your phone, what I've been pressing like for the last year and a half,
no.
it's like, oh, nope, don't have time for it. No, would you like to do it in your sleep? Nope.
Yeah.
Because every time I try that, it says, oh yeah, we weren't able to update it while you were sleeping. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Then
that's
why?
shit. Yeah, it's really shit. Also, like, I've had that before where my alarm didn't go off because I just randomly started updating, and then it's like, yeah, you've got the latest update. I'm like, fuck, I'm like 2 hours late for work. Cheers for that.
Motherfucker.
Mother funk star.
But anyway, what about dental fingering?
You went to the dentist last week
Yeah,
and had some mouth work done.
Another story by Jay. Because my life is just so exciting.
Yeah.
So I went to, oh yeah, I remember it now. So Matt and I, we had a few drinks on Thursday, last week Thursday.
Yeah.
We were really fucked up, and
Yeah, you speak for yourself. I only had a few brandies.
yeah, all right, dude. I've just had a few brandies. I do not know what you're contemplating
Yeah,
about.
just that's how I fucking, that's like my mouthwash.
You,
Brandy.
sir, are an absolute bigot. That is all.
I'll take that.
Go to the Queen, I say.
So you woke up on my couch all fucked up.
Yeah, what I usually do is like I wake up before you even like
Yeah.
lift a finger, or lift your dick. I don't know.
You haven't had a look.
I don't want to look.
My finger, I always sleep with my finger pointing upwards. Because that's where JC lives. The Lord above.
The Lord, JC, what up, dog? So basically, anyway, no, we'll get into it later. That's another topic. But basically, what I did is I ended up sleeping on your couch that night. So I went directly to the dentist because I knew, okay, I don't have time to go home, take a shower or whatever. And I did manage to brush my teeth, but again, only doing that, the smell is still there. So as the lady
You just
was,
masked over it.
yeah, I mean, as the lady was just, she's like, oh yeah, you know, what's your name? And da-da. Like she was giving me this gum cleaning, whatever.
She's like, here's a breath mint. Here's
But she's like, I knew, like she was looking at me like, what the fuck did this guy do last night? He smells like a hobo.
Yeah.
But the entire time I'm just like, they always say, like the dentist, oh yeah, breathe through your nose if possible. And she was probably like, for the love of God, just breathe through your nose, man. I don't want to smell that fucking liquor on you.
Then you're just like really heavily inhaling and exhaling through your nostrils, like.
I couldn't breathe through my nose because I still have, like, around that time I still have allergies. So like in the mornings when I wake up, it's if I need to take like my medicine or whatever, and I didn't have it that morning. So in that case, I couldn't breathe through my nose. So I had to breathe through my mouth.
That's
and I
sick.
could already I could smell it.
I could just imagine you're like like little kids. It's funny as fuck. Like it's gross as fuck too. But like a little kid will walk up to you and then they'll start like breathing out of their nose and the snots are just hanging there and they're just
Oh
all,
yeah.
you're like, God damn.
But it's also she's like, oh yeah, I'll see you in 2 months. I'm like, yeah, and like I told you before, and the problem was with that, she was really good looking, so I just thought to myself, fuck, man.
Fuck.
I mean, not that I would ever
But you got a date set up for 2 months time.
exactly, so I can shave. I'm gonna make sure this time around I don't show up like
Yeah.
a fucking hobo.
Bring the tools, clean my teeth. It's like a weird. It's not really a date. That's more like a fucking, I don't know.
You clean my mouth, and I watch there as you do it to me. It's like fingering
Right.
my mouth.
But it's really like the way you're describing it makes it sound a bit like, like when people are really stinking like sweat, but they try to
Yeah.
cover it up with like deodorant anyway, so they kind of smell like a horrible mixture of like fucking product and fucking sweat anyway, and it's just gross. It's just
Yeah, that's another thing what I don't understand, especially in the summer here.
Yeah.
I think we spoke about this before on one of our previous podcasts, but my God, why doesn't anybody wear fucking deodorant? Like some people in the metro, especially
Yeah.
when you're going with public transport, there's some people who hold on to the railings up high,
yeah.
and God forbid if the
God
metro
forbid.
tram, bus, or whatever is packed and you're standing right next to them.
Yeah.
And wow, I just feel like bringing a bottle of like Febreze or Axe body spray and just spray
Febreze.
them.
I always think about that shit, man. I think that's funny, like fucking like Febreze or one of those like bathroom toilet cleaners. I
Yeah.
always think about that shit. Like imagine like that's what you did. You just use that under your armpits and brushed your teeth with coal.
I'm not kidding. If I'm here again next summer, like in the metro and stuff like that, I'm gonna bring a bottle of Febreze and just
Yeah.
like if somebody's like, with the arms up in the
Yeah.
air, I'm just gonna be like, shh, shh.
But they're always forever inventing new things, like fucking you got this new deodorant and all this kind of shit. Just fucking get them one of the like some kind of suction cup that just like conveniently fits over the armpit area. Kinda
Yeah, but
traps all the smell.
I don't know. Like some people have some weird ass smells coming from the back, or
Well, people are kind of like just seeping out what they've fucking basically consumed. Like, I mean, like, you ever notice like when you're really hungover or you've smoked the night before or something like that, the next day you're like, especially if you're quite hungover, the next day you're just like, you're just seeping all the fluid. Like at the bottom of a bin bag, you have that kind of like juice.
yeah.
That's basically your ass. Jesus, what have I done?
So,
yeah.
but one of the things that we also discussed before the podcast is something people don't do in movies. Which again, going back to the whole bathroom talk, like I don't know why we're getting into like
man.
hygiene or bathroom on this particular podcast, but
I was I've been thinking about this for quite some time. Like, actually, I've always thought about this shit. Like, I thought like it's started off when you notice like that when people are brushing their teeth in movies, they're not they're sitting there like with their little gentle strokes and they barely use any toothpaste. In real life, you're like, it's like Taz. You're just fucking. It's just a big foamy mess. And so like they also, like you said earlier before we started, they don't take a shit in the. I would rather have the standard film is 90 minutes. I would rather have a film that was 95 minutes if we could just have honesty, just bathroom time. Time some guy playing Angry Birds taking a shit and just the sounds of him being like, oh Jesus, shouldn't have eaten that curry.
this is the reason why no movie has gotten a perfect 10 because they don't include the shitting.
Rotten Tomatoes.
They don't include the dental hygiene, and as you said, it's just like when they're brushing their teeth, they don't use mouthwash, they don't floss, or if they do, it's just like it's one tooth because they're
one tooth, just brushing one tooth on repeat. It's the
well, it's
shiniest.
just like all they do is just like they have this toothbrush and they're just like, hey, like just very slowly, and then it's just like after 1 second they're like, oh, I'm done.
Yeah, fuck that shit. Like
My dental plan is amazing.
Receding gum lines. No, but I also what else was it that they don't do? Like I made a video about people not. What the fuck was it that they don't do? I'm blank. Totally blank.
But also, what they don't do, I don't know. Like they don't ever drink water, or do they?
They drink water, but they drink it in really fast.
Yeah. Okay. When they
Like-
drink anything, they drink like just a little bit, just a little bit.
No, I know what it was. Fucking hell, man! I was just like, I just kind of got a bit lost. I forgot that I was speaking. I was like, I'm talking, and then I just got lost, like thinking about daffodils or something. Yeah, it's just that people never say bye in the films. They never ever say bye. Like they're on the phone, they're like, yeah, so what's up with her? And then they just fucking hang up the phone. And then in
Yeah.
real life, somebody would be like, sorry,
Dude, what the fuck?
they'd be ringing you back, like just sort of, what's going on? Are you all right? It's like, I said no.
Yeah, I know what you mean, like those dramatic hang-ups when people are always asking, hey man, what happened here in this case? I think Jessica's in trouble. Bye. It's like,
Well,
what the fuck? Like, tell me, what do I need to do? What can I do to help?
They don't even say bye. They don't even fucking lock the car half the time. They just fucking pull up, get out of the car, don't lock it, and just like pick up the phone and be like, yeah, Jessica's in trouble. I gotta get her some medication. Hang up.
It's like, dude, tell me what the fuck is wrong. Like, let me help you.
But I don't know where you are.
Get to the chopper now.
It's the Amsterdam dance event, and you missed out because you hung up on me, motherfucker.
Yeah, I was waiting here in the corner, but no. I wanted to get to the chopper.
I give myself a timeout.
What?
Because you were in the corner, facing the corner.
That's another thing. It's just like nowadays everybody has these timeouts.
What? Like kids?
Yeah,
Oh.
kids nowadays.
In my days, they would just give you a fucking butt to the face, kick you in the mouth.
Well, sometimes my dad would ask me if I wanted the whiskey bottle to be empty or full.
Before inserting it. I don't even know.
What?
I don't know.
What does your childhood consist of? Like
Well,
you're
put it this way, man. Put it this way. Like I was looking through like family photos. One of the last times I went back to Ireland, and for some fucked up
a
reason.
whiskey bottle in my bottle.
No, but like, do you know, like how nowadays everybody's like all careful with the kids and shit. Like, although everybody's like sharing shit all over the fucking internet. So.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was like pictures of me with coal all over my face, just a big like black mouth and coal in my mouth. And instead of like helping me, my dad was just like, haha, he's got the coal again. Little fat Matthew when he was a kid. You never have it?
little fatty Matthew.
Yeah, Fatty Matty.
Fatty Matty.
You know,
Is that what people actually called you? Or?
Fatty Matty. That's what I call myself. There was a period, man, when I was like, fuck, what age was I? I was about 19, but before I left Ireland. And I remember like I was studying at the time, and I was just eating cheap food and fucking just drinking a lot. And I don't know, man. Like I look back at that photo and I look 5 years older than I am now, or even older. You know how people just look older. Like you could look at a 21-year-old, but they just dress in a certain way and they just act a certain way and they talk about fucking careers and shit. I just look like a bin man or something. Like 20 years older than I am now.
Oh wow, Fatty Matty.
Fatty Matty.
My name is Matty. I'm about to roll a fatty.
A big fatty joint.
That's Kush or marijuana or the Dutch, as you like to call it.
I've got 14 marijuanas. You know, like when the police, like I see these updates like from back in Ireland because I forget that it's actually still illegal in places. By the way, Canada, fuck yes.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I just saw yesterday that they fully legalized it. But even though it will take a while to come into place. No.
It's actually like it's fully into place now.
No. What I meant is like fucking. I've seen that, but I actually maybe it was because I was reading an article about in Toronto where they say that they still have to get like permission to open the shops. They have the permission, but they still have to get planning laws or some shit like this. But yeah, you know the way I used to see anyway, like on Facebook, like the Northern Irish cops, they would put up like, we've got this massive find, and they'd have like half a fucking joint, and they'd be like, we've got 3 marijuanas. totally disconnected from it and all this shit, and then they feel like it's a massive haul. It's fucking ridiculous.
Well, what they also did in Canada now is they're pardoning everybody who was arrested for possession of marijuana.
Yeah, they should.
Basically meaning that if you were in the past caught with any narcotics such as marijuana, or actually only marijuana, not any other narcotics, because that's illegal.
I thought
apparently.
narcotics was just like fucking like hard drugs.
Okay, I'm sorry, my terminology is off. Let me reiterate. Let me rephrase what I said. My bad.
So to speak. I haven't heard it at all. It's great. You, like,
good, because I fucking hate the fact that I had to say it. I remember one of the intros that we did last time around. You always said like, and my name is Julian, so to speak. And it didn't click until after I listened to the podcast, and I just thought to myself, God, it's like it's one of those takes. You start to notice it so often. So even now when I talk to my friends now, I don't ever say that anymore. I say it 1 or 2 times, but I catch myself saying it, and then I just say to myself, you know what? Nope, not doing it.
That's one of these things, man. You kind of just it's just there. It's just part of you, and then you don't really mean to be saying it, but it is good to have that pointed out because I've noticed a couple of times people tell me that I just swear too much.
Yeah.
Kind of just swearing all the fucking time, like just basically like when a French person speaks English, like would like that noise in between is my fuck.
Yeah.
I'm like, I fuck. I don't know. It's just not normal.
Shut
like,
your fucking face, Uncle Fucker.
You're talking to a child and you're just like, I don't know why. I don't really talk to children very much. You just walk up to a child and be like, "Hello, motherfucker."
What up, dog? How you doing, player? What up, dog?
But yeah, if like I'm hanging around with like my nephews and stuff, I can't be swearing all day long, so I have to change it into like oh, fudgesticles. Actually, my dad, when he swears, he doesn't swear. Actually, basically, my parents don't swear at all. So when they get angry, like I think my mum has said shit once, and it was like the biggest thing ever. It's like, oh no, you did it! Oh, it's like when somebody flips a bottle. Wow! My dad says, but the weird thing is, you don't swear. I say fuck, and I feel like that's just not good enough. Like say fuck or shit, it's just not satisfying enough. But when you get really descriptive, like my dad, he'll be like, "Oh, hell's bells and buckets of blood!" Like, whoa, Satan's come.
Hell's bells and buckets of shells. What?
Oh man, like I was talking to this girl from Greece at my work, and she was telling me about like swear words, and I was just asking about all the different swear words and shit like this. Obviously, when you want to know about the language, you don't say, "Hey, how do you say hello in Greek?" Oh, fuck that, I just want to know the swears. So she told me, she was like telling me the different swear words, and she said that one of the most common ones would be the equivalent of saying, "Oh, come," like come.
Oh,
Just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Come, wank off, come. Like it's just a different perspective on life.
Well, it's also like with the Dutch bad words or whatever you have.
Cancer, basically.
Yeah, that too.
That's nasty.
Dirty. No, but what? There was something else we were going on about before I went on to this ramble about.
Oh God.
Fuck
knows, man.
But anyway, yeah.
Can somebody ring in now and just?
Yeah, exactly. No, but so basically to just kind of finish off with that topic, and as Matthew is drinking his drink.
Energy.
Sit up, drink, stand. Okay, anyway. This next song that we're about to play is actually from another friend of mine who I actually worked with before. His band name is actually called John's Brother Dave.
John's Brother Dave.
And they're more of a funk type music, and we're actually planning on having them within the studio within a couple of weeks or so.
Yes.
And yeah, just this is what we're going to play. So just let us know what you think.
Get on down.
To you, but I swear I'm just in shock. Ooh, I was unaware it was my world you were gonna rock. It happened to me instantly. The chemistry started to explode. I was just about to give up on love, but this is something that I couldn't have known. That you start a reaction. It's a fact now, just like that. My heart's back in action. This is more than attraction. You laid your cards out on the table so bravely. I wasn't sure just how much game I had left in me. Finally, something woke up in me. My mind and soul, they started to split. Ooh, you made it clear that you had no fear. So I said, what you wanna do about it? 'Cause you start a reaction. It's a fact now, just like that. My heart's back in action. This is more than attraction. I thought this was too good to be true, but somewhere I think I knew that I should not ignore that you look like something that I prayed for. You give me more. You give me more. You give me more. You give me more. Oh yeah. You give me more. You give me. You give me more. You give me. You give me more. You give me. You give me more. Well, I might look back to you, but I swear I'm just in shock. Oh, I was unaware it was my world you were gonna rock. It happened to me so instantly. The chemistry started to explode. fact now, just like that, my heart's back in action. This is more than attraction. You start a reaction. It's a fact now, just like that, my heart's back in action. This is more than attraction. You give me more. You give me more. You give me more. You give me. 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 You give me more.
Yes.
And that was John's brother Dave with the song Back in Action. I was really enjoying that,
I
actually.
was actually, yeah, it was really pumping me up and get me all energized. Who is what's the name of oh, okay, John's brother Dave.
Yeah,
I was
that's
gonna ask
the
about
band
Dave.
name. So the band name is John's brother Dave.
Yeah.
And then the song is Back in Action. And this is actually what one of my friends, he sent me just by personal message, so to speak.
Yeah.
Mother, I hate that.
No, you shouldn't pay attention to it.
No, but it's just like, it's whatever. So anyway, he sent me this over personal message, and now we got a chance to play it, and we're actually planning to have a live session with them in a couple of weeks, maybe next week, actually,
Oh, that would be
depending
good.
on how things will go within the studio, because again, we have to make sure that everything's set up in the studio.
Yeah.
We have all the auxiliary and stuff like that, because we want to do a electric session, but as you know, we don't really have that much space in here.
I would love to see it happen. I'd really, really love to see it happen. I just have to try and figure it out. But we want to get more people on the show because that's fucking amazing.
Yeah, and this is also like we actually have a room where you're sitting behind, and what we can do is we can just kind of sit there, and then they can record their stuff, and then we can like implement it into the whole podcast.
That's so cool. It kind of looks like one of those like recording booths.
Yeah, but the problem is we don't have any recording tools back there. But anyway, that was, again, John's brother Dave with the song Back in Action. And we are actually going to have them in here live within the future, maybe next week. We're not entirely sure if it's going to be electric because we're trying to figure that out. But if not, then we're going to have them on an acoustic session in here, which is going to be, really nice.
Well, we just have them do like a freestyle voice, sort of. Just to sing your parts, sing your instruments.
Anyway, freestyle rappers out there, y'all know what it is.
Y'all know what time it is.
Y'all know. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to freestyle rap.
I'm
No.
too white and Northern Irish. Hello there.
Yeah, I'm too German.
Break it down, break it down. I'm a Northern Irish cowboy. It just doesn't have that ring to it.
Well, it's like that's what country music as well nowadays. Like if you have something good to sing, like you can be a country singer.
Put your balls on the fire. Put your nipples in the washing
In the
machine.
tire. Put your balls in the fire.
I don't know.
Get your nipples in the tire.
I found myself last night. I was recording myself doing country songs for some weird. I was having one of those nights where I was just making really weird really weird stuff, but not really being able to commit to anything. So I'd get halfway through a country song and I'd be like, what is this bullshit? You know, like the typical sort of artist kind of nonsense where you like, I make a video and then I'm like, yeah, this is a great idea, and then I think it's terrible, then the fucking music turns out bad, and I'm like, and then I've got all these half pieces of nothing.
I think we should do that. We should do a country music
Let's do it
song.
today.
Because honestly, I love, it is a like little fact about me, and this is also has something to do with where I'm from in Florida. Like it's a huge country music scene down there.
Yeah.
And I was never really like into country until recently.
Is
And
that to do with like the elderly population of Florida? Because there's
no, the reason why is because in Florida you have a lot of areas which are just country areas.
Yeah.
So a lot of these country songs, they're talking about like getting in their pickup truck and going mudding and stuff like that. And I know what that is because I've done that before. And this is like mudding. So basically what this is, like if you take your pickup truck somewhere and you go near the train tracks, if it's after a day of raining or stuff like that, you take your truck, and usually I have in the back of the truck bed, you have girls, you have your beer and everything like that, and nobody rides onto the fucking front. Like there's one person in the front of the truck and everybody else is just sitting in the back of the truck bed.
And what, they play chicken with the train, or
No. What they do is like because most of the towns in Florida, we don't have trains running through there anymore. So if it's after a day it rained, then we go into the truck, and just off the side of the railroad tracks, there's a lot of mud there. So you kind of drift with your truck back and forth. And the thing is with that, our truck got stuck one time.
Stop rhyming, fucking rap star. Your truck gets
Truck
stuck.
got stuck in the mud.
Holy fuck. God.
We need some bottle of suds.
Stud.
Stud. Hup. No, but our truck got stuck in the mud. It sounds like a rap
It's
song.
just a fucking nursery rhyme. A truck got stuck in the mud.
It's a new country
Elmer
song.
Fudd.
Dude, that's our new lyric right there.
Our truck got stuck
In the
mud. And everybody
scene.
went home.
And this girl in her skinny jeans just got in my truck.
Is she even a Christian?
She's a Catholic, but we'll work on that. We'll get her up to Jesus right now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, baby, honky tonk, da donka donk. It's actually,
Bop it, twist it.
it's actually a song like the honky tonk,
Oh,
but donka donk.
What do you think of Garth Brooks?
I actually don't mind him. Like, I actually think he's good, but again, it's like every artist sort of. In that case, like they have their good songs, they have their bad songs.
I just think like there's a lot of shit out there. I mean, what I think is cool like is like Johnny Cash, for example. Like,
Yeah.
This kind of like storytelling vibe, but when it's like Garth Brooks, it's like just bring me 2 pina coladas. Oh yeah, hallelujah! Like it's just what the fuck. Come on.
But again, with the whole mudding thing, we got stuck with our truck in the mud. And there was actually a train, so you hear the ring, like the sirens of a train coming and and like the train actually had to stop because our truck was stuck in the middle of the fucking railway.
So you were playing chicken in the end.
Yeah, pretty much. And one of our friends, he got his truck and he had to pull us out of it, but it took so long. And it wasn't during the daytime; it was at nighttime.
Yeah.
So once we got out there, we went to my friend's farm and we just did mudding around his farm because he also had like just mud there. But it's really fucking crazy because it sounds like it's something really absurd, but a lot of people do it. And you have like you have the girls, you have the guys, and everything like that.
Yeah.
And it sounds stupid, but it's actually like a really good time. Like once you get used to it, and this is like this is the norm, and this is instead of going out to the bars, you just get your beer, have a good time.
Yeah.
You get everybody within that little small town to basically just hang out,
To
whatever.
drink drive in the mud. Oh my god, are they wearing seatbelts?
No, we don't wear seatbelts.
In the mud after drinking? Goddamn, inform the authorities. That actually sounds like a lot of fun. It depends on the kind of crowd that you're hanging about with.
Yeah, because I was actually hanging with my cousin's friends, like because he lives in the country around there, and I was more of like the city guy, whatever. But I really adapted.
Slicker.
I adapted quickly to like the country lifestyle, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, he seems like a cool guy," and da da da. Because I get along with anybody, so as long as you're cool with me, I'm cool with you. That's pretty much all it is.
I think yeah. I mean, I don't know how I would go down there, like in a place like that, but I think I would have a lot of fun. But like, I don't know if you're not from there, like if people just would even know that I would be a foreigner. They just say, well, what's up with that guy? He's got a speech impediment. so somebody down hit him in the head with a hammer. What happened? I know, actually, I'm from Ireland.
Oh yeah, Ireland. I've been there
I
once.
saw the leprechaun. I swear I did it. I murdered him.
I saw a leprechaun. I swear I did. I think I might just hit a blade.
This is back to the nursery rounds again. You know what I'd really love to do? Like, it would be cool if some people would write in and give us some questions, just like some random things that we could like talk about or ask us. Like, I just want to fucking see what kind of madness we could conjure up amongst the public.
But also regarding that whole country aspect of it, when we go to Canada or whenever we go there, like we might even make a trip together,
Hand in hand.
hand in hand. We are the world.
Via Iceland, because I see a lot of cheap flights are always stopping in Iceland. Like that. Wow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can actually fly directly from here to Newfoundland, which it's actually 4 hours away from Ireland by flight.
Yeah, it's really fucking unexpected. I don't know, like things like that just are a bit unexpected. You realize how close things are. Like, I mean, Iceland always seemed like it was super, super far away. It's not that far either. But Newfoundland seems a bit like out in the sticks.
I'm not kidding. If you go to Newfoundland, people will think you're actually from there because you have so many different people who immigrate to Newfoundland from Ireland, from England, and they have this really weird accent. To them, it's weird.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've especially heard like with this kind of thing that a lot of Irish people do is like where they do like the instead of 3 they'll say like tree, or they kind of like soften the ends of words. I heard people from like parts of Canada, and I was like, what the fuck is this accent? This is really, really bizarre. I thought like it's like weird Irish.
Yeah. But on my bucket list, or not bucket list, but what I want to do is as soon as I arrive in Canada is go to one of those country bars, because Canada is infamous for its country music scene there as well.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like what I want to do is just like get a cowboy hat, get a plaid shirt, get my jeans, and then like the cowboy boots and just do the line dance. Which I remember like when we were drinking, you're still want to do like the line dancing and get into it. Because the one thing I love about Canada, and it's very cliche as well, and a lot of people might say this as well, but Canadians are the friendliest people I've ever met in my life. Like I have Canadian friends like that I play ice hockey with, and it's just you can't compare like the friendliness. And it's also when you go there, they're like, oh yeah, where are you from? They're like, they're rarely. It's kind of like the Irish in a sense of.
Yeah, you can just get a conversation going with people, and then they'll take an interest. Like, I mean, I find it over here, the Dutch, really nice group of people, but sometimes it's very hard to like get into that to get further past the surface. And I've also experienced that with like Canadians as well. Just like you're working in somewhere like a bar, and then they all come in, and then you can just tell that they're Canadian, slight accent, but usually because they're super friendly.
Yeah, and a friend of mine, he actually is from Canada, and when I first met him, I asked him, "Hey man, are you from Canada?" He's like, "Yeah, how'd you know?" It's just because there's some words, some key words that you can kind of.
About.
Yeah, about.
About.
What is that about?
That's Scottish.
What is that about you? What is that about, eh? Don't ever make fun of our beer, eh? Yeah.
Hey. I don't know. It fucking blows my mind.
Buddy.
Buddy. I'm not
guy.
Buddy. I would.
Hey, buddy.
I would just love to go to Canada. It seems like a really beautiful country, and
let's just end this podcast now and let's just get on a flight to Canada. I don't need to go to school. Fuck it.
Well, yeah.
No, but I mean, it's obviously every country has their good things and bad things, obviously, and that's what I kind of want to get into as well. Did you know that in Canada now they have, with this whole gender equality and stuff like that, Canada now has 20 to 30 new pronouns that they have for like male or female.
What? Oh, like I saw this like sort of thing about like on Facebook where they were just they had like millions of different ways to describe it. And
so a friend of mine who is also from Canada, he sent me like this entire list in which Canada has now, in which they have to adhere to 20 to 30 different pronouns of people that are gender neutral. So they can be, for example, a transvestite, transgender, male who wants to become a woman who wants to become a man, a baby who wants to become a I don't know.
Yeah, but as much as I'm in favor of it, I think it's fucking awesome. I think people should be able to just be exactly who they are and not have this like repression based on what society tells you. But when does it end? At the same time,
I agree, and I have no problem with it.
Yeah.
But they enforce this into law. Like they enforce these pronouns into law, basically stating that if you do not use these pronouns, you might be going into a fine if somebody reports you for that. So if somebody of a transgender, you don't say the like pronoun of what they are, you might get a fine. Like again, this is not like guaranteed because you have to prove it in a court of law in order for you to get that fine. But this is just something that the government has actually implemented into law. They had this whole debate about it.
In what sense that would you get the fine for? Are you talking about like in the workplace or what?
In the workplace, or also, for example, if you see somebody in the street and you address them, hey, how are you doing? And you say like a personal pronoun such as he or she, and it's not correct, then they can say, oh yeah, but it's this one. Could you use this one? If they say like, no, I'm not going to use that one, then therefore that may lead into a fine because you're not complying towards the law.
It's a bit mad in a way. Like I agree with it that you should just like treat everybody with respect and stuff like that. But if you live in a world where you can't make a like you can't say one thing because you're scared that somebody's gonna fucking say that you're offending people. No matter what you do in life, you're gonna offend people. So just try to be a cool person and try to respect people. But you can't fucking always get it right. If somebody says like, "Hey, I'm actually a ventriloquist," I'm like, "Is that even a sex?" It's like, well, by law, I'm now a fucking ventriloquist. I speak out of my dick.
What?
I don't know, man.
The doctor told me it's possible.
Well, my half dick, half vag.
It's a half dodge. It's a Dodge.
Dodge Viper.
That's what I call my penis. It's called the Dodge Viper.
And it can snorkel. But that's gender phobic, man.
But
let's move on.
It's also like within that particular what they have now is because of that in Canada they can now no longer, like if you go outside of a barbershop, they can no longer say like men's haircuts or women's haircuts. They now have to say haircuts only.
Humans at some point, but that I totally
that's
agree.
Disrespectful to dogs.
I know, but I totally agree with it. But like imagine like it does get to the point now in society where it's kind of like if it gets to that point where it's like, okay, fuck, we can't say man, we can't say woman. Even though everybody assumes that there are, like, other people have to be included, of course, but you can't say anything, so it's just kind of like, oh, it's a human hairdressers, and then somebody's like, but I'm not a human! And you're like, well, you do have, like, I mean, like, you have the biology, you have, like, the makeup of a human, but I guess, yeah, you've got some implants up your arse now, so... so
My
now you're
name is
technically-
Google.
Fuck off, Google, you're always ruining the party.
My name is Siri. How can I help you?
Siri. Fuck, do you use Siri? Would you use...
I don't have an iPhone.
That's true, actually. That's an iPhone thing, but
I just have the Android, which I don't know which function that is because I never really.
Yeah, Google basically is like fucking dominating my phone. So basically, the whole time it's just kind of like I've never used the microphone feature ever.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I just don't want them like holding on to my data. Not that I'm that paranoid, but at the same time, I'm kind of curious just to see how far I can push it. Like, well, I think it's called on Microsoft anyway. The new one is called Cortana or something. So it's not Siri. It's Cortana.
Yeah.
It's what's on my computer, but like. Cortana, bring me my slippers. just to see how far, like, if it would understand.
Sleepers here. What do you do? I kill you. No.
What if they combine Siri with one of the sex bots? Because maybe people like when people
Oh yes, harder, please do me now.
But I think that's essentially where it's going because I think a lot like it's fucking 70% sex. They want to get off on something, but at the same time, I think there's a lot of people who would actually pay a prostitute not to even have sex with them, but literally just to like. Put their head on the prostitute's lap and kind of stroke their hair and comfort them and stuff.
So just like a cuddle buddy.
Yeah, so basically that's it because people are really lost and they need some kind of like comfort in life. So they're like, okay, I'll pay Siri to.
Well, funny thing is, they actually have it's an actual profession. It's called like a cuddle buddy.
I saw that, man. I saw that. Yeah.
And it's essentially, I thought to myself, I'm like, oh, it's kind of a nice idea, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, nah, I'm good. I'll just like go to the club and grab some random. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that.
Me too. No, but
Hashtag me too.
Yeah, I saw this one. Like, it was a documentary about the woman who's doing this like cuddling thing, and like she had a boyfriend, and he was like, yeah, she's just that's okay, that's her job. And then it was just really weird because there was a line where I was thinking like, are these guys at some point going to get like horny and want more? But she was just like basically just sort of like a mummy figure. Like,
Yeah.
it was also the same as this documentary. I watched a lot of weird documentaries about the man baby. You ever see that? The man baby, the man who like dresses up like a baby and
I didn't see the documentary on that, but I watched a show. It was like CSI, and they did like a version of that.
It
But
might
yeah, I
have-
know what you're talking about.
Might have been like one of those kind of things, documentaries, schmockumentaries, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
It's all the same. No, it's not really at all. But like, yeah, that was just weird as fuck. That was kind of in the same lines of this whole, cuddler thing. Cuddle me for money.
Cuddle me, please. I'm lonely. No, but yeah, that's I would say that rounds off our podcast. I mean, for the last, unless you have any other words to say, Matthew.
I just wanted to say, in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the let's just get the fuck out of here. Next week's the Halloween edition.
Next week is the Halloween edition, indeed. So, woo! Jamona.
That was just the toilet becoming.
I think, yeah, this is the part where we just run off the podcast because it starts to get weird again. But basically, the last song that we have is actually by a band called Backburner, also from Canada. This is actually a group of hip-hop artists from Canada, which includes more or less who was being played earlier. And it's actually called a Death Defy. So, again, like I said before, it was great having everybody here again listening. But, yeah.
Sure, come around next week. Come on.
Come on.
Knock on the front door and come on in. We'll have a cup of tea.
Step into the sky where we try to reach. 3, 2, 1. Testify, we defy belief. Death defying giant leaps. Step into the sky where we try to reach. 3, 2, 1. Testify, we defy belief. Guess who's back? Now they already used that. Whatever never went away, don't ever confuse facts. Not just a group, Backburners the crew. Rap music's the truth, and Darth Vader is Luke's dad. Bring a magnifying glass to a gunfight. Anybody bugging out, burn them with the sunlight.
melt your face off twice if it's done right. Like Evil Knievel with a mic from a stump.
They call him Timbo, Mr. Timbuktamento assemble. Playing with power like Nintendo, the pen strokes. Roll back and break your headphones. Benders end with amnesia like Memento. Kendo, swing the mic at your genitals. Now you and your homeboys both talk like Kendos. Temper, mental, quick smash your head. Blowing noodles out your noggin like the ramen at Kenzo.
Hello, I came to get the opposite of mellow. Drink until I'm wobbling with drunken models and stilettos. Get my act together just to rock an instrumental. Watch it all come together like I'm soldering some metal with the Beatles. Known to make the ladies gain libido, even with my breath stinking like Doritos. Cop a new tuxedo, put it on and ride away in a torpedo. Jump off before it hits, don't even spill my cappuccino.
Death-defying, giant leaps. Step into the sky where we try to reach. 3, 2, 1. Testify, we defy belief.
I can smash your click like 1, 2, 3.
Somewhere between A$AP Rock and A$AP Rocky is Wordberg spitting in a J's cap. Cocky, you got me. The whole crew's sick. That's old news. Like everyone knows, hot mom shop at Whole Foods. Told you the old rules are broken. Start phoning home, cause the knuckleballers are knocking it out the open dome. Posting in the zone with the raps like the Rosa. Till the bars close and the lab stars are frozen.
Harder than a cock in a wool sock that was soaked in Tabasco on a Mexican beach. Are these assholes? Oops, I mean tactful. Gentlemen with a craft phone, well, that keeps the wax so far away that a sat phone's needed to holler back the ballers. That's what a crap load of bragging with no imagination. That's on my black soul. Launch penis, I ain't doing that shit, y'all. Let's get off the wall, enjoy the drums and guitars.
Well, it's me, Gadsden, outrageous from 16s and a rap hook to the pages of a zine or a chapbook. I've been to Venus and back, look. You get the feeling that's when I hit the ceiling. Sistine Chapel, I got a misty. Come test me, Jesse the sissy with crimes that's heftier than my physique. Give me a disease, I live. You diss me, kids, please. A back burner, packing mezzanines like Disney this season.
Thinking you death proof. I hop out of the Lex coupe. Rental car, the metal spark, venting your wetsuit. Yeah, my famo got me. You rock a camel cod piece. Your next in command, right hand man's a Tamagotchi. Shoot, you know the scoop. All my troops can do it proper. Pack of geeks, smash the teeth out of doom imposters. Groove 'em out of Moon Sonata, Super Chupacabra. Dude, just drop it sorta like a Robert Schumann opera.
Death-defying, giant leaps. Step into the sky where we try to reach. 3, 2, 1. Testify, we defy belief. Death-defying, giant leaps. Step into the sky where we try to reach. 3, 2, 1. Testify, we defy belief.